Welcome to the Second Time Around podcast with LaShawn and Michaela Mims, a weekly conversation about love, life, and marriage from the perspective of a couple who are taking the journey a second time around.
But I thank God in all I lost, I found you. As I give you this ring, just know you're my greatest blessing. All the good and the bad will make this love true.
Hey family, it's LaShawn Mims. This is the Second Time Around podcast. You know me. I'm a husband.
Yes.
A father.
Yes.
A papa.
Yes.
And I am the pastor of Judah Fellowship Church in Elk Grove, California.
Yes.
I am one half of the duel. The other half is my lovely, wonderful, crazy, funny wife. And I want to introduce you to her. Go ahead, baby.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, sir. Hello, family. How are you? I am Michaela Mims. I am a wife, a mama, a Mimi. I am the leading lady at Judah Fellowship Church in Elk Grove, California. And I'm also a licensed marriage and family therapist. And I am so excited to be here with you all today. And this is another episode, and it's a continuation of last week's episode where we're talking about how we met. And so, baby, tell them what we're talking about on the podcast today.
We are talking about how we met.
Yes.
Yeah. We've gone through a few episodes where you've gotten to know us a little bit better. You've gotten to know us a little bit better, a little bit about our backgrounds, what we've called our origin stories. And now I'm looking around. We are in the meat of this.
Yep.
Yeah. This is the down and dirty part of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we want to give you the real story, the full story about us.
Absolutely.
You know how we do with this. We talk about life, love, and family.
Yes.
Second time around. You know how we do this thing. So we just wanted to continue from last week and give you the real story. You got to hear it. You got to hear it. I don't want to say the horse's mouth because we're not horses.
Thank you.
But you want to hear it from us.
Yes.
And we want to have a really good time telling you this. You're going to get a few laughs out of it too.
Most likely you will.
Most likely.
So one of the things we did last time that I wanted to just pick up and reiterate is that we are going to be absolutely positively honest in our podcast and what we talk about. And we are going to do it with regard and respect for our first spouses. We want to make sure that people know that this is a lift up second marriages. And if you're in a third marriage, or if you're considering a second marriage or a third marriage, this is to encourage and inspire those people, but it is not an opportunity to tear down.
Right. It's not a bash.
Right. It's not, that's not what we're here for. We also, want to make sure that we honor and respect our children as well. And so we're going to pick up, and I am going to tell a little bit about where I was in life when I met this awesome guy that's across the table from me.
Awesome.
Y'all.
Awesome.
He is awesome. He's silly too.
Yeah.
Anywho. Okay. So this is what was going on for me when LaShawn and I met. Again, I was in ministry. I was in school as well. I was still finishing up my undergraduate work, and a lot was going on. I have two sons. My oldest son, hey boo, is not biologically mine. I won't tell too much of his story, but he is a gift from his mom to me. And by the time he was 16, both his parents had gone to be with the Lord. And so he is my baby, and he is 33 now. He just turned 33 this year. And so that baby was away at school working on his undergrad degree. And my youngest son, who was biologically mine, was also away at school. He had just left, I believe, for his freshman year in college. And so I was in school. No, was he gone? He was gone back. I don't know. It's so much. I can't remember, y'all. It's been a minute. Anyway, he was around. Let me just say it that way. He was preparing to go to school. And so I was in school. Sean had joined the church, but I was also in a relationship with someone when I met Sean. And so pretty serious, at least I thought it was. And so I was head over heels with this person, and not a bad person. Let me just say that. Not a bad person. Somebody I'd known for many moons, who we would date, break up, or kind of just phase out, come back together. And there were times this person was in a relationship and married and I wasn't. And there was times where I was in my first marriage and he was coming out of his first marriage. Just a lot of interesting little twists and turns as it relates to time. And so at this particular point, when Sean comes into my life, Sean and I are friends. Sean is new to the church we're at, and I am in this relationship that is, I don't know, kind of rocky, I don't know. It was a relationship that I thought I was in. I don't know if that person was fully committed, but at one point, I'm going to try to close the gap because it was kind of detailed, but we were in a relationship, and at one point we decided that we're going to get married. And so I'm like, yay, I'm excited. We're going to get married. And I come to church one day and I, make this announcement in the staff room that I'm going to get married. And so this dude across the table from me says, oh, so I guess that means I'm not going to be able to make you my wife. And I thought, no, he didn't. And I was like, no, you're not. And y'all, I had gone out, found a dress, but this is how interesting God is, because I found the dress, wanted it, had the money for it, but I didn't buy it. I did not buy the dress. And it was beautiful. And yeah, a lot of stuff happened with that. And I ended up not being with that person and my heart got broken. And I think in the prior episode, I mentioned to you that Sean was just that person that would pull my coattail on stuff and he would tell me honest stuff. And so in the midst of this relationship, I called him one night and I was like, look, this, and this is happening and I don't know what to do. And I don't know if you remember telling me this, but you said to me, you have got to be true to you. Whatever you do, don't change who you are. And I've always remembered that, and I've always valued it, and I had to think about that. So you look like you're about to say something. What you gonna say?
No, I was listening. I was listening to what you were saying, and just remembering that time. Mm-hmm. I think on my side, or my view of that, obviously it happened to you, so you have the better vantage point on that. But for me, it was like, oh, well, that's great. You're getting married. And as Michaela has said, I'm a very big jokester. Mm-hmm. I'm going to joke about a whole bunch of things. And me saying, well, I don't get to marry you is probably just a joke that I was going, that I had no intentions of being married ever again. So,
really? You didn't ever want to get married again?
No.
Uh-oh. All right, then. We'll get to that at some point.
That's a definite no. Like, no. Like, no. I didn't think it was
Destiny's
possible.
Child.
Yeah.
No.
You got it? Did
I did.
Yeah. I just didn't
Lord.
see myself being that person anymore.
Interesting. And see, I couldn't wait to be
I just
person.
didn't. I was like, you know what? One time, all right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And here's the funny part, and I'm going to, because we're musical people, I'm just going to say I thought about Teddy P. I'm not going to be a two-time loser. I'm just not going to. Now, see, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a secret about that album. I have to give it to you. So when it talks about Love TKO, if you let it play all the way, usually when you hear it on radios or you hear it played somewhere, they don't let it play all the way. But there's a part of it. If you have that album, if you have it on iTunes or whatever, listen to it. Because there's a part of it where if you let it play, he gets to the end of it and he says, I'm tired of being a two-time loser. He says it just like that at the end of the song.
Y'all.
He said, I'm not going to be a two-time loser. If I could play it for you right now, I would play it.
He would, but we will not.
But we will not.
You are
Anyway,
so
so that's what I got. I just wasn't going to be a 2-time loser.
No,
so,
I get that. I get that. I didn't want to be that either. And I think that it's important to me for you to know that those words were helpful to me in really saying, okay, do you want to be married or do you just want to like a cool wedding? Like, do you want the whole package? And so at that point in my life, of course, I was older. I had kids that were, college age. I felt like I wanted to be with somebody who was going to be honest, loving, caring, honest being the key word, caring and respectful of me. And it was hard to find somebody like that as in my age group. First and foremost, I was in my late 30s, early 40s. So there was that part of it. But then there was also the part of being a preacher, right? I'm telling you, being a preacher and being a woman, that's like kryptonite to the brothers. They like, oh, yeah. They're like, hey, girl, how you doing? I'm good. Where you going, church? All right, then I'm going to see you. I can't.
Be up then.
Right. I'm out. And so it was hard. And so it was really difficult for me during that time because that's what I really wanted. And I mean, I would lament at church about that. Like I was that person when every month we would do.
You gave a psalm.
Man,
you gave a psalm right there.
I'm saying,
lament.
I've been to school, y'all. I've been to school. I'm saying there was a point, every month. Oh, Lord Jesus, right. I'm paying for it. I'm gonna
use it.
That
all
part.
Right. All right.
And
Seminary.
so, come on, Joe.
It's for everyone.
With the forgiveness, the loan forgiveness. Anywho, so they would do this thing at church every month where they would have all the couples come down and announce, their anniversary and how many years, and people would just be so excited, and I just would be upset because I felt like I really wanted to be in a relationship and I really wanted to be married, and then I had this individual who was not as committed to that process as I was, and so I would just be really sad. So for you to say, one and done, I'm good. And I'm like, well, no, I haven't had my real one yet. So can I get my one? Well, and let's go.
I think for me, I was thinking that it's not going to be like mom and dad's marriage.
Okay.
If it can't be like that, then I don't think I want it because I've tried it. I've tried to do it my way. I did the Frank Sinatra thing. I did it my way. So it didn't really work out. And you probably will hear more about that, but it just didn't work out well. I'm 51 now. I don't necessarily think whose fault it is. I don't really know at this point, but I just know that it didn't work out well. And anyway, I was talking about the fella that you were going to marry. And when you announced that, hey, I'm going to get married, I was thinking, oh, okay. You ever had that moment, y'all? Did you ever have that moment when when somebody says something to you, you think, that's what you think, right? Okay. All right.
Oh, wow. Wow.
All right.
That's cold game right
No,
there.
that's not cold game, but I'm saying
but I get it.
We're honest and true here.
Yes.
Men know men. Women know women.
Game recognized game.
In the Bay, man. And look, you know what I'm saying? So we are truly from the Bay. You recognize this. I used to have this saying, and I have many sayings.
Yes, he does.
I know the game and I watch it unfold because I've played the game. I know what it is.
All right, then. Come on, sir.
So I know the game and I watch it unfold because I've played the game. I know what it is. So you could just see in another guy, oh, I seen that. Oh, I seen that move. I seen that move before. But here's the thing. We are such good friends, but at the same time, I'm also a guy. And I feel like the guy code is a little bit bigger than us being friends at the time because you gonna see it. I don't have to tell the story. You'll see it. You'll figure it out. All right. See, that's him right now. Saying you're telling too much of the guy code.
That is not it.
Okay.
Put your phone on Do Not Disturb.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Please,
I'm
sir?
sorry.
Thank you.
Okay.
So silly.
Anyway, so yeah. Come on. You got to stay with us here.
I'm with you.
I told you, these are our deep down episodes here.
Woo.
So you got to stay with us.
Please do.
All right. Yeah. And I was just like, there's certain things for guys. And guys, are there certain things? They're just certain things. And he did some things with me first meeting him where I was just like, dude, you're not going to make it. You're just not going to make it because you got too many irons in the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Let me say this. Good dude.
Yes.
He was a good dude.
Yes, he is.
And
He's still living, y'all. So he said yes, he was. But no, he is.
No, he's not dead or nothing. But I'm just saying, he a good dude.
He is.
Me and him, Facebook friends, Instagram, we were cool. But I just knew that he wasn't the man for Michaela. And I know where y'all going. I already know before I say it, y'all thinking, but you said you was. No, I didn't. I didn't think he was the person. I could see it in him. And here's the thing that I'm going to say, and this is all real talk. He just didn't show up. He didn't show up.
Mm-hmm.
And in love, you have to show up.
I agree.
That was it. That was all. Till this day, that was the only thing that I disagreed with, is that he just didn't show up. And that's why I was like, he's not going to make it. Because he's a juggler. He's juggling too many things.
True. Well, no, and me being the person that I am, it took a whole lot for me to really finally give up on that because of the history that I had with that person. Not just that person, but that person, my mom loved him. And so this, y'all, I had friends that would come to my house when I went away to school, and they would come by, and I wasn't even there, and they just come by, pop up at the house and say hi to my mom. And he was one of those people. And so just a genuinely sweet person. But I do think that it just wasn't, the timing had never been right. And so the things that transpired between the two of us really just kind of drove that home. And it made me see that, well, let me say it like this. We were getting married, but I didn't have an engagement ring. We just decided to get married. And so another good friend of mine, and if he ever listens to this podcast, he will know who he is because only he would say something like this. Really, really sweet person. And when I told him, took my hand and looked at my hand, and he said, well, where's your ring? And I was like, oh, we're going to get that later. And he was like, oh no, that's not how we do this. He said, you know what? You are not, anyway, I don't want to misquote him, but he said, you're a Harry Winston diamond and you deserve to be treated like that. So whoever meets you and marries you, your ring should represent who you are as a person. And so, yeah, I never had an engagement ring until I met Sean, and I got one then. But it just was one of those things where I think I had to realize that my value was bigger and it deserved more than what I was receiving. And so it was a hard thing for me to well, initially it was hard to cut those ties. And I don't know, y'all, if we're going to go all the way in that story, but it was, like I said, we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but it just was a difficult time and it was a difficult choice. But yeah, did what I had to do. And yeah, that's what was happening for me. And I was in school and all kind of stuff was happening. What was happening for you at that time? I feel like we should kind of segue into what was going on in your life.
It's just terrible. Well, I was trying to get acclimated to being a more devoted person.
What do you mean?
To be honest about it, I just felt like I was more interested in a lot of different things than being a minister. And so coming to this new area, coming to a new church, doing away with what I probably had been doing for 10, 20 years, 10, 15 years. I needed to grow up some. I wasn't as mature as I should be for my age. I love the Lord, but it didn't show. I just didn't feel that I was serious. I felt like I was just having a flirtatious relationship with God, and not really having a devoted relationship with God. So that was one of the things that in this life transition, I was saying, Lord, I want a devoted relationship with you. I want a real relationship with you. Let me say this to our listeners. Be careful what you pray for.
I know that's right.
Okay. Really be careful what you pray for, because God is like, oh, really? Is that what you really want? Okay, let me show you something. No shade to anyone, but it was like a very tough process to get acclimated into this new denomination in this new church. It was just like really some nasty stuff was happening. In this particular denomination. We had what we would call a supervisor. And the supervisor, I remember joining the staff, and I would say like the next week, they were like, supervisor's like, oh, I want to meet with you. Let's just talk. And I'm thinking, okay, we're just having a talk. And once I get into this meeting with this supervisor, can I tell you, baby girl, just let it go. She was just like, you know what? Whoop-de-whoop, I don't like you. I don't. Boom, boom. And so it just went bad from there. And I'm dealing with all of that. You know, I'm also friends with Michaela. I'm also the single guy. And I'm not, as Michaela says, this the 2 on the 10. I'm not putting the 2 on the 10. I'm not putting too much on it, but I am the single guy. I am the guy. And there is a lot of, hey,
attention.
Yeah, a lot of intention. And I'm telling you that I want to focus on the Lord, and it's going bad here. And so at the same time, one of the difficulties that I was having was I never had a problem at church. Church was actually my sanctuary. It was the place where I could get peace. As a young kid, I would go to church after I would come from classes and just sit in the church, and all of my activities were at church. So the church has always been a place for me where I just, I would fold bulletins. I would print bulletins. I would talk to the pastor. That's the kind of church I grew up in, where I could go to the pastor, sit in his office, talk to him. We would laugh, joke. You want to clean the church today? Sure, I'll clean the church. You want to do the bathrooms? I'll do the bathrooms. Whatever was to do. So church has always been a sanctuary for me, an actual place of safety. But for this particular time in my life, it wasn't. It was like the worst place to be for me. And I felt like this is not going well, And then on top of that, we have the situation of me and Michaela are really close friends, and people think it's something different. So how dare you take the single guy?
That part
was the attitude. And this particular supervisor, female, I think she was more of, why don't you look at me? Why don't you see me? Why don't you be friends with me? And I'm like, I don't want to be friends with you. You nasty.
Personality wise.
Right. Ooh, let's clean it up.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. No. Not
anything
Miss
else.
Jackson if you're nasty. No, not that. Not that. But
oh my God.
Oh my goodness. Stay with us. Don't leave us.
Please don't.
Yeah. So it was really tough. And then just being friends. And
trying to be.
Yeah. And trying to be fair as a man. Be fair. Don't be a hater. I'm giving you game here. I'm giving you.
What do you mean by that? As a man, be fair to the other person that I was seeing?
Right. I think even though we were friends, I had respect for you. I had feelings for you. And I can say that.
What you talking about, Willis?
Now, I'm not saying feelings as in, oh, man, that's going to be my wife. That's going to be my girlfriend. But I don't want to see you get hurt because I know what hurt looks like. Can we say that? I know what hurt looks like, and I don't want to see you get hurt because from what I'm looking at, it seems like hurt is very common to you. And I don't want you to get hurt because this is the next thing that's going to hurt. How am I fair to not being like, hey, you know, we're from the Bay. So there's a particular song that says, I got a friend named Earl. He sing this song. I'll just go say that. So I wasn't trying to be, I'm dating myself. I wasn't trying to be a captain. But I was.
So nice how you put that.
But I was trying to be true to myself.
True. Should I?
I want to be saved. Okay, so I was just trying to be fair. And I want to share this with you. Now we said we wasn't going to mean and treat nobody wrong.
That is correct.
But okay, I have to say it. I am a different kind of pastor. I know. But sometimes people do buster stuff. And he did a buster thing. And I had to say, that's a buster. You're a buster for that. So that's Bay talk. And here it is. Michaela is in school. And I think I'm getting ready to start school. And I'm a real student of the Bible. So I invested in this program, a Bible program. And anybody who goes to seminary, anybody who wants to study the Bible wants this program. And I just happened to have it. And I told Michaela, I said, you know what? I have that program. I'll give it to you. You can use my license for the program.
Oh, yeah. It's in my first year of seminary.
It will help you. It'll help you a lot. And so she's like, oh, really? Okay, well, just drop it by, friend, when you one day. So I said, okay, I'll do that. So this particular day, I come to Michaela's house. And this gentleman that she's going to marry is outside working on her car. And he's working. And, I'm a guy's guy. So I go up to the brother and I say, hey, man, how you doing? Good to see you. Hey, man, brother, hey, how you doing? All right. Cool. We kick it, we laugh a little bit. I said, well, I'm going to go up here and talk to Michaela. Listeners, what is wrong with that? I'm going to go up here and talk to Michaela. I thought the brother was going to say, man, let me close this hood. I'm going to go up there with you. Because that's what men do. This fella says, oh, yeah, going up there. And I looked at him as if like, what? What do you mean? You about to get married to my friend and you talking about going up there? You don't know me like that. You don't know me. You don't know anybody like that. Why would you didn't think them? And I know we think, oh, he trusts you. He trusts you. No, oh, no. My best friend, I don't trust like that. I'll be honest with you. I don't. And I'm not saying that's because something would happen, but because that right is right and wrong is wrong. If that is the person that you are going to marry and that you consider to be the apple of your eye, consider to be the prize, the jewel in your crown, then what you doing down there working on brakes while another man is up there? While another man is up there giving her anything. Brother, let me see what you got in the bag. Let me see what you got there under your arm. What is that? What's in the folder? I need to know.
You are something special.
That's the priest, protector, provider part of a man. I need to know what you doing. You're not just gonna walk up there. I'm the protector. I'm protecting this right here. So I walk up there and me and Michaela up there, we downloading the program and we talking and laughing. And I know she laughing, making a whole bunch like we doing right now. And he's still down there working on these brakes. And I'm thinking, when is this joker coming up here? Because I'm getting nervous because he in here. Well, he not moving. So anyway, after that situation, I said, I don't think he's the man for you. I just don't.
Wow.
He's not. Because anybody who loves somebody is not going to leave them uncovered. How about that? I'm not going to leave you uncovered. I'm not going to leave you blindsided like that. And right there I decided, that's not it. Now, I didn't decide that we're going to be together, but I decided that he's just not that man. And you can't. And here's the thing. You can't teach that. You're an adult. You can't teach another man that. A man has to be instinctively that.
Wow.
So I can't teach you to be a protector when you're 35.
Wow.
You have to instinctively be a protector and be taught that through your life. Because that happens. That's why, see, now we're going deep into this. That's why some men do the things that they do, because they don't know what it's like to be that. I never had a protector in my life, so I don't know how to protect.
That's good. That's so good. Well, thank you for looking out for me even when you weren't my direct protector. So even from that perspective of like being a friend, I appreciate that. And I thank you that you are still that way. Well, my darling, we are coming to the close of another episode, and we're going to pick up. It's very good. We're going to pick up more of this in the next episode. But baby, can you tell them where they can reach us and where they can send questions?
Yeah, you can reach us at the number two, the letter X, at judahInTheGrove.com. Right there is where we can get questions, concerns, even ideas for different episodes. We want to hear from you. We want to hear your relationship stories. We want to hear your victory stories. We want to hear your lessons of love also. So that is where you can reach us. Please reach out to us. We look forward to it. We would welcome it so very much, baby.
Absolutely. Well, until we meet again, y'all, we wish you happiness. We wish you health. But most of all, we wish that you would thrive. We'll see you the next time.
You have a good time.
Thank you for joining us this week. We look forward to continuing the conversation with you in our next episode.